There was a definitive moment in my life, and it was on my senior retreat during adoration. And the Lord spoke to me, and He said, I have two options. I can choose the ways of the world or the ways that He offered. And it seemed like a very bizarre invitation, mostly considering the fact that I didn't know who He was. And in that same breath, in that moment of invitation, He said, Shannon, I've made you entirely for myself. And it wouldn't be for many years that I would actually come to understand what that would mean. Despite the great confusion and discord that would follow the words that the Lord spoke that night, I made a life-altering decision and decided to follow Jesus, not knowing entirely what that would mean, but I uprooted all of my plans, and in a matter of a few weeks, had applied and arrived at Franciscan University of Steubenville. During my time at Steubenville, I made incredible friends, and more importantly, it was my friendship with Jesus that really came into existence, and soon became my everything. I was deeply rooted in the sacraments and ultimately understood and was invited into a life of prayer. Right as I was preparing to leave Steubenville, I was hoping to follow him to the convent, and in December of my senior year, he said, just not yet. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but he said, just not yet. After graduating, myself and three of my best friends boarded a plane and headed to Spain, where we intended to walk the Camino de Santiago. And during that time of pilgrimage, the Lord definitely just spoke His love and His mercy into my life. And although I didn't have a plan, He reminded me that He was faithful and that He would follow through. And so I had to hang on to that hope. At the end of our walking over 300 miles, we arrived in Santiago. And now looking back at it, the joke was certainly on me. But we ran into two sisters of life. We were there for less than 24 hours. We got to enjoy time with them and just be with them. And I never knew that that would mean something for my life later. After the Camino, I knew I had to start making money and enter into the real world, if you will. And I knew that the religious life, it wasn't the time for it then. And so I was offered my dream job, and I don't say that lightly. I returned home to the parish that I grew up at and first encountered Jesus at, and have since remained as the youth minister for the last decade. And these years have been perhaps the best years of my entire life. Despite my lack of desire to pursue religious life, the Lord finally confirmed that now was in fact the time. Now was the invitation. Now was the open door that He had suggested nearly 10 years ago. And with that, I made several trips out to New York City, where I had the privilege of being with one of my best friends, Faustina, now Sister Faustina. And I had a very special moment. We got to go to the crypt of Fulton Sheen in New York City. And when I was down there praying with him, just the words, life is worth living, kept raining over and over in my mind and in my heart. And with that, I know that now is the time to live this new life that the Lord is calling me to. And I come to you asking your support and your help in financially providing for me the means that I need in order to follow my heart's desire and to live my life radically and totally for Jesus and for His church.